There's this common misconception going around that people believe that they have to have this high production value, hours of editing in order to be successful on YouTube. Today, we're going to really settle that. I am so excited to share Ashley's story with y'all today. She is an Airtable expert who discovered that leveraging YouTube Lives was her perfect low lift solution. As a systems expert who helps coaches track their client results and automate their businesses, Ashley knew that she needed content with a more longer shelf life. And what's really cool about Ashley's story is that she has adapted YouTube to work for her specific lifestyle and capacity so that she can really focus on what's truly sustainable rather than what's perfect. In this success story, you're going to learn how she revived her channel after realizing old videos were still bringing in new clients, why YouTube Lives became her secret weapon for staying consistent with her content strategy, how she's using data tracking to make smarter marketing decisions, and her unique approach to done is better than perfect. Let's go ahead and dive into my conversation with Ashley and learn how she's making YouTube work for her business on her own terms. Ashley, I am so excited to have you in this Lola Club story, like interview. For those of you who don't know who Ashley is, oh my gosh, you are missing out. This is the fucking Airtable queen, okay? Client results queen, okay? She is an Airtable expert who helps coaches really master Airtable and track their results and stuff like that. But Ashley, can you please introduce yourself and tell the girls everything about you?
Yes. So you did a great job at introducing me. But I'm Ashley. Yeah, I am an Airtable and automation expert. I've been like the coaching industry's Airtable girl since 2020. I am in that software every day, multiple hours a day. I know it inside and out. And if there's really no other software better for client management for coaches, service providers, and agency owners. So making sure none of your clients slip through the cracks. You need Airtable, whether you have one client or 1,000 clients, you just do VIP days, or you have group programs, masterminds, memberships, all of the things. Airtable really is that girl. And so that's my main like passion in life, is making sure that all of these amazing coaches who teach really amazing things and get their clients incredible results, one, know how to track their client results so they can get more of them, and just have like an easy automated business so they can impact more people.
And you do it so well, girl. Okay, the Lilith Club is a systems over stress coded program. Can you also talk about your business model so that people kind of get an idea of like the things that you sell? What are you offering in your business?
So I've tried almost every business model you could possibly have, and I've landed on something that finally works like very well and is super sustainable for me and my clients. But our main offer, our biggest offer, is it's called Systems Over Stress, and it is 12 months systems support container. So inside of that, you get all of the Airtable templates you could possibly need to run your business. And we have a support ticketing system where you can ask us any Airtable questions that you'd like. So that's our main offer. That's $2,500. We launch it live 4 times a year. And then we also sell our templates that are inside of that one off a la carte without support as well. So you can either go all in with Airtable and all in with us, and we really get to understand your business, and we're really like there as your support team experts in your back pocket, or you can do those standalone client hub template, sales hub template, content templates, all the things that you could need.
This is really good because you have like the best of both worlds, right? Because like whenever people think about YouTube, they're like, oh, but I have a program. Is it going to work for me, or is it only for people who sell digital products? You sell both, okay? Yeah.
Well, and I used to sell VIP days as well. We now just bake those right into Systems Over Stress. So if you like want us to do it done for you, we do these 3-hour builds. I've had to open up my VIP day slots because people find me on YouTube and they are banging down my door. They're sending me Facebook messages. I'm like, how did you even get my Facebook? But they're like, please, I saw your YouTube video. I need to work with you. I don't want to do it myself. And so like they were forcing me to do high ticket. And so yeah, we've done every type of way that you could possibly offer this type of support.
I love that. They're like, please open this back up.
Yeah.
I need your help now.
Yeah.
I love that. So let's talk a little bit about your YouTube channel and like your whole experience with YouTube. At the very, very beginning, before you were a YouTube management client in the past too, you already were like, I like YouTube, you know what I'm saying? What was your reason for even trying YouTube at that time?
Man, so I started working with you back in February of 2023. It's now March of 2025. We've known each other and we still haven't met in person, which is criminal. I knew I wanted something that was, I don't think you were calling it at this at the time, but like something that was low lift and something that could like run in the background for me. I was frustrated that, Instagram stuff, you pour so much time and energy into it and like it's pretty much gone and useless after that 24, 48 hours. And so I knew that like a long form SEO driven thing was going to work well for me. And just also with my skill sets, I'm good at yapping, and also Airtable is such a screen heavy like option, like such a like it's easiest to share, like sharing your screen. So I know YouTube was going to be that for me. And so I worked with Jamar. The videos were great. My issue was, and we'll talk about like how I kind of overcame this later, was you were doing your job. I was not able to pre-record things to get them to you to edit. And so you'd be like, hey girl, it's been like, we're waiting on those videos. And like having to just sit down and edit them. If it wasn't like live, which is my kind of hack for the future, it was really hard for me. So I had to end the contract, not because of you guys, but because of me and my like capacity. And like a year later, I was looking at my marketing metrics and I was like, damn, those YouTube videos that Jamar made for me back in the day are like, those are still getting views and those are still getting me clients. Maybe this is a channel that I should revive again. And so that's when I kind of restarted my love affair with YouTube. It was not a love affair in the beginning, but then I let those videos cook for a few years and they were still doing their job. So I decided to come back in.
Yes, period. And then the club like was available and you're like, okay, it's time. And specifically, you was like, I am doing lives. I want to do lives. I think live streaming is the way for me. I would love for us to talk about your relationship with YouTube lives now.
I loved YouTube lives. You did a YouTube live challenge. Like basically you were like, if your barrier is editing, do lives, because you just like there's no barrier. It doesn't exist. You don't edit those. You just talk and it happens. And I was like, oh, I can do that, because what I was doing is I was doing these client results cleanup interviews on Instagram live. And those were going really well and people liked them, but like the reach of a Instagram live is not long. And so I was like, I think that there's a better way for me to do this type of interview live format, and let me put it on YouTube instead. So I started over on Instagram live and I was like, I'm used to going live. I can talk. My people are used to it. They engage in the chat. So let me pivot that over to YouTube. That went really well. And that really helped me get over the barrier. I think you, in your YouTube live series, you had us like pick a day. I think it was like Fridays at 10 a.m. Pacific. I was going live. I emailed my audience. It was really easy for me to like pre-schedule those emails. I was like, here's what we're chatting about each week, following your framework. And people just knew to come and watch those lives. And that was a really important time for me to, I was in that same type of mindset of like, I can't record and edit, and like it was just such a heavy task. It did not feel low lift. Going live felt like the easiest way for me to do that, and so that went really well for 5-6 weeks, and I was getting clients from that. And then when I launched a template, I launched my template by doing a daily YouTube live. So it was like I did one a week, and then for a week I did like 5 YouTube lives talking about each like specific aspect of the content template, and that really resulted in a lot of sales, because again, people could like see my launch emails, but then they could come live with me and then they could ask their specific questions and then they could see the different pieces of it. So that worked really well too.
We had a YouTube live challenge and you're like, great, this is perfect. I'm going to do this. Right. And so for you to start YouTube back in the day, fucking hate editing. Editing was not that girl for you. You know what I'm saying? You're like, this is not it. He's like, I am over this. And then welcoming lives into your world and you being so comfortable with lives that you decided to integrate it into like a launch for you.
Mhm.
and for you to do it like every day of the week, every day of the week, right? Did you ever have like a confidence issue when it came to like showing up lives or like doing video period at all?
Not really. Sometimes I get nervous with YouTube because I feel like the comments are a little more ruthless and it's not like
Mhm.
my warm, like cute, friendly, like supportive, like go girl, like Instagram vibe. But all of the comments were always super supportive. Because I like there's definitely some Airtable experts and they're all really nice, but there's just like a lot of like I think there's like a more masculine bro tech energy on YouTube. And so I was like, am I, they had a little bit of imposter syndrome as like, are those people going to take me seriously? The comments have always been super positive. So that was my only like big concern there.
Mhm.
And then sometimes I'm like, I say like a lot, like it there, I could be more concise, but I like that YouTube lives, like the point is kind of just to like show up as you are. And yeah, so that was, I've always been pretty okay with it.
They're like so forgiving. It's like lives are so forgiving. I like it's just I like love just showing up and just being like, hey y'all. I say like, right, all the time. All the time.
My biggest thing, and I don't know, I'm like, I cuss a lot, and in on YouTube, I try not to because I don't know if it's like would flag me, and so I'm like, that's I have to control myself with that. But
Oh my god. And also one of the things that I want to point out too, Ashley, with you is that you also were able to revive your channel quite quickly, right?
yeah,
So we have this like 90-day roadmap that people go through to make sure that like I am in, like that I'm a part of the feedback loops and that they're like really starting or restarting like with success and support. And my dear, you completed your your 90-day roadmap in 29 days.
yay!
In 29 days. Uh, do you mind speaking a bit about that, like that entire process? Like, why were you able to do it so fast? Actually, yeah, why were you able to do it so fast?
I mean, the reason I was able to do it so fast, and I always use you as an example, is the way that you outlined your curriculum. You're currently hosting it in Circle, but it was literally like 1A, 1B, 1C. Done with that, move to 2A, 2B, 2C. And I just was able to like really cruise through things. And so it was that. And then it was also your feedback loops and opportunities for that. I use like, I'm not really a hop on a coaching call. I teach coaches, I have coaching calls myself, but for me, coaching calls, it's like that's an hour of my time where I need to spend 15, like I like need to get like 2 minutes of your time to answer a question and then I need to hop off. So the fact that you have the circle channel, so I could ask my questions there, could submit reviews, like I really leaned into some of the more asynchronous support options and knowing that like that's how my brain works best. That's how I execute the most. I think I like went in one day and I probably asked you like 13 questions and I was just like, I'm cruising through and going through. And I already had such a good foundation from the work that we had done previously.
Mhm.
And also I think with any marketing channel, you're able to execute faster if you do know your ideal client, if you do know what your offer is, like all of those types of things I have pretty nailed down. And so I'm not like, who is my YouTube channel for? It's like, nope, I know who it's for. Like, and so having like just that business experience, I think helped me as well.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. Like anyone coming into like the club, like one of the things that I totally recommend that is going to help them start off really really strong is them knowing their ideal clients on an intimate level, right? Like with like because I can't help with that. That's not in my realm. You know what I'm saying? And so you being able to like your people like the back of your hand, man. I can remember this day, Ashley, when you literally right after I had like approved your month one channel review, it was like in no time you like, okay, here are my next topics for the month two thing. And I was like, and they were all so spot on. I like loved them. And so the way that you like knew your clients on this intimate level of like what they want to know more about and how you were able to take the framework and apply it to that so well. Like I just am like, girl, great job. You want things to be like really like low lift for you. One of the things that you're doing, because you have been enjoying YouTube so much, is that you've decided to kind of like shift your like marketing approach a little bit to like two platforms. Do you mind talking a little bit more about that?
Yeah, so I had a podcast. I have a podcast, I have a YouTube channel, I'm on Threads, I'm on Instagram, I have an email list. I think that's everything. I'm not on TikTok. I'm just at a place in my business now where I really want to focus on doing a couple of things very well instead of all of the things like mediocre. And like I was getting content out, but like I wasn't looking at my data for YouTube. I was looking at the data for the podcast. I was just like kind of on this content hamster wheel. Now, as I'm deep in the UTM code world, like I'm like seeing where my opt-ins are coming from, and also seeing where is the easiest place for me to create content. YouTube has now become easy for me. Threads is easy for me. Instagram carousels being more in that creator type with the B-roll and the content is just like not where my like it feels like a chore. And I think that just looking at anecdotally, a lot of people are saying they're coming from the podcast versus coming from YouTube, or they're coming from YouTube instead of the podcast.
Mhm.
And so I decided to have like one long form channel and one short form channel. And so it was either YouTube or podcast, and it was either Instagram or Threads. And so now, just based on the data and based on what was easiest for me, we're actually going to be putting a hiatus episode on the podcast, just saying, hey, full transparency, we're going all in on YouTube over here. Like a podcast could be low lift too, but it's like
Mhm.
there's extra admin tasks. So like, yeah, I could read one of my emails, like record that and put that on the podcast, but I just like don't have the capacity right now. There's other things that will bring me more money. So I'm really focusing on those things. So we're focusing on YouTube, putting a pause on the podcast, and then focusing on Threads and just like doing very minimal repurposing from Threads over to Instagram.
What's really cool about that, Ashley, is because you're going to be able to be more intentional too, and you already know, like inside of the Low Lift Club, one of the things that I'm kind of like a stickler about is like we have to track the data, we have to be tracking all this like stuff or whatever with the UTM codes and stuff. And you are a UTM queen, honey. You know what I'm saying? It's so awesome. As you go throughout this like journey now, like how do you feel knowing a little bit more about how to track your data, like at least your YouTube data, with the processes that you learn inside the Low Lift Club?
It makes it feel like it's worthy of my time. I think before I didn't know what was working and what wasn't working. And so I was like, do all of the things because probably like they're all working, like they're all compiling to all of the opt-ins. But now being able to see, because we have our UTM codes, I can see, okay, 28 people opted into our stress-free Sunday email series from Threads. I got 11 masterclass signups from YouTube. And it's like really like being able to see that granular detail. I can also see like, oh, if I double down on that, that's me like barely trying. Like if I double down on those and get really smart there, then I actually don't have to go wide. I can go deep. It makes me feel honestly like a business owner, and it makes me feel like a marketing like girly. And I like feeling like that. Like I like knowing, okay, if I know my conversion rates, I know the growth of the YouTube channel, I know how much money the YouTube channel has brought me, like knowing all of that stuff instead of just like, I'm putting out content 3 times a week. Like that's a good start. And I think that's where I was with my lives. I was like, I just got to get the muscle memory of going live, of going into YouTube. Now I do have a little more capacity. So now I can record a video, and now I can like edit that a little bit and schedule it. And so it really like, I started really small to get really comfortable, and now I'm able to be more strategic. I knew that the UTMs were important, but I was like, I can't think about UTMs if I'm not making videos yet. And so it was really like just allowing myself to like stair step up the like expertise level.
And that's the thing. Like I feel like you were able to like meet yourself like where you literally were in the moment, and to be like, okay, let me do this first, and then I can like add on this other stuff, right? And so I love that you did that. And the thing about you too, Ashley, is like you are a data queen. Like you literally eat, sleep, and breathe this stuff. And so it was just so nice to have you get to a point to where you're like, okay, I can now commit to looking at this stuff now.
Yeah, and I think that like meeting yourself where you're at and being very forgiving, like I have like a lot of grace for myself. You have an amazing like video editing course. Yeah, Zooms would be pretty cool. Not gonna do it right now. Like maybe that would increase retention and like perhaps down the line, but I'm not gonna do it right now. And just like accepting like these videos are basic and like that's fine, and like that will convert. And so I think that I've gotten really good at that in business over time, of just like accepting my capacity and not letting that stop me. Like done is better than perfect for me. I like the YouTube lives was an example of done is better than perfect. I was like, I would love to make these standalone videos that were edited and like super concise. I can't do that, so I'm doing it live. And so, and those still made me money and they still got me views. And so I think that it all works, and that was really helpful to like believe, because I hadn't even thought about it, but like I'm committing to a video every other week. If I can't pre-record it, I'll just go live that day. And it's like, so it's like nice to just like always have it as like, what is the truest low lift? Like my like capacity for what low lift means is like can change at every given time.
And then on top of that, I do want to like touch on some of like after you launch your channel, like now you're going to be able to get access to like channel audits and also like monthly reviews and stuff like that. And on that, we go through that data, like, again, and like I look at that and then I audit your channel, you add me to your channel, and I'm going to be like, looking at each and every video. And so with you building up that momentum, like I get to go back into your past month's videos and kind of see, okay, cool. How can we optimize this more? Like, answer any questions that you have. So it's like we're looking forward, but we're also looking at like the past stuff at the same time.
That was another huge thing, and one of the reasons why I stay in the Low Lift Club, because it's a membership. You can like cancel anytime, I think. But I'm not that great at pre-planning. I'm not sending Jamar my 3 months ahead of schedule with like the titles and I just don't have the time and I don't have the capacity. Typically I do it like the day it needs to be done. And then like I'm getting there. But it's really cool to be like, hey Jamar, here were all of the things I did last month. And what I think is true about YouTube is like, if we go back and make edits to thumbnails, titles, whatever, because it's like you can improve past videos even after they've already been created. And that's been a really like helpful thing for me to be like, just get the bare minimum video out and then send it to Jamar later to help finesse and refine and all of those things.
Yes. I think that's one of like my favorite things to do, to be quite honest, because I feel like y'all are out here like doing videos and all this other shit. And then I'm like, oh, I can't wait to like look at that video. I can't wait to look at the back end of it and like, do all the things. And so I really like to at least try to support you guys in that way. Are there any other features of the Low Lift Club that you think were like beneficial for your journey this far?
One of the biggest things, which is it's taken me time, we now build it into our like monthly tasks for my team, but it's filling out your monthly metrics review form. And honestly, like the biggest thing that helps me do, I know like if you fill out the monthly metrics form, you are eligible for like a review of your channel or something, but even just having that form as a task for us to fill out forces me and my team to look at our metrics. And because it's so easy for a month or 2 or 3 to pass by and you don't actually sit down and look at the metrics. So that form is so helpful. Even like there's amazing like reviews and stuff on the back end, but just the act of filling that out, and you have reminders to help us fill it out, and you have, because of Systems Under Stress plug, but something I absolutely love with that form is for you get an automated email back that says, hey Ashley, since your time in the Low Live Club, you've made $2,000 from YouTube. You've grown your YouTube subscribers by 93 people or something like that. And like, I forget all of the wins that I've gotten from the channel. And because I'm submitting the form each month and because your Airtable systems are tracking it, it like gets this very positive reinforcement of like, here's all of the things you've done. So it just helps me remember like what you're doing is working. I think so often in business, we're like, let's pivot, let's change. And it's like, no, like keep YouTube, like let's keep refining it, but like what you're doing here is working. And that form and that like positive feedback loop is something that's really helpful.
Let me tell you, that systems over stress process is the shit, okay? Because I did not even like that is I have to tip my hat off to you and thank you so much for this is probably is this an ad for systems over stress to you? Maybe.
I know.
But no, like I think like some of these things that you're talking about are things that like your programming you have like really inspired and helped me get through and get to. And so and like you get to experience it in real time, and like you being here I think shows that like I'm not full of shit.
Mhm.
A little bit too. And so if you were to give anyone a little bit of advice around if they want to start their YouTube channel and they are looking at the Low Lift Club, but they're kind of on the fence, like what would be that thing that you would probably tell them?
My biggest thing is just make sure you want to go in on YouTube. And if you're like going all in on YouTube, join the Low Lift Club. If you're like, oh, I don't know, like should be you like if you're ready to launch or revive your YouTube channel, join the Low Lift Club. It'll help you do it faster. Just like that's why I was able to implement so quickly, I think, because I was like, this membership solves a specific current problem in my business. I'm not aspirationally thinking about wanting to maybe start a YouTube channel. I want to start it. I want to launch it in 2 weeks. I need Jamar's program. And so that's like any business investment advice that I have, which is like make sure it solves your current problem. And if your current problem is you want to start your YouTube channel, but you want to make sure you're doing it in the most strategic way, then that's the time to join. I think it's very frustrating for me, at least, maybe you too. It's like when people join our offers or join, but they like just sit on it. I'm like, well, what are you doing? It's
What's
cool for
happening?
me. I'll collect the check, but like I want you to do something with it. And so I think be ready to do something with it. And then it's like it's the best thing to help you actually implement.
Spot on, spot on. Thank you so much
Of course.
for speaking with me, Ashley. You are just I love talking to you, and I'm just so happy that you're part of the club, and I'm looking forward to just continuing this journey with you as well.
Yes. Awesome. All right. I'll talk to you soon.
As you heard from Ashley, creating content for YouTube doesn't mean you have to have some picture perfect production or complicated editing processes. In the Low Lift Club, you're going to get access to the same strategies and support and flexibility that has helped her build a channel that fits her lifestyle and consistently is bringing in clients for her business. What I love most about my conversation with Ashley was her emphasis on meeting yourself where you are. Whether that means focusing only on YouTube lives instead of dedicated edited videos, or just committing to just one video every other week. Finding your sustainable approach is what's going to really lead you to this long-term success. If you are ready to make YouTube work for your business in a way that actually fits inside of your life, go ahead and click the link below to learn more about joining the Low Lift Club. You're going to get access to the complete roadmap, monthly YouTube audits, and strategic support to help you launch your channel, build consistency, and turn your viewers into leads. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you in the Low Lift Club. Bye-bye.